Hey, so it's been a little bit since I've done a video. I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot. Uh, a lot of stuff is happening, as everybody knows. Yesterday, actually, the MSNBC did a short 8-minute expose, I guess, or actually just the front of it was a little expose of Q and the conspiracy theory behind Q, and then tied it to frickin' Pizzagate or whatever, and then they went off into some other rabbit hole that made no sense and that I know is not true. I'm sure everybody else that follows Q and the Q movement knows that's true. But my point was just the simple fact that an MSM outlet is speaking about Q to the public is an exposure. And anybody who knows anything about marketing knows that most generally people don't pick up the first few times you lay something down. You have to expose them to something. In other words, their mind, their ears, their eyes, whatever, is cued in, pun intended, on whatever is going on in their life. And so when they hear the letter set, the 17th letter of the alphabet, they may not register it. It may not even affect them. But once they're exposed to it from their own news source, and then in the coming times they're going to be exposed to it a bunch, especially when Q divulges who he is, then the entire world will know. But so as these people who watch this mainstream media have now been exposed to them saying that word Q, next time they hear it, it'll go up a notch in their brain, and to the point when they hear it again, or at some time, they'll lock into that and they'll investigate it, or it'll come to the conscious surface of their mind and they'll be inquisitive about it. So I considered it a success. No matter how they tied it down, just the simple fact that they brought it up. Of course, you can slant it with the conspiracy theory of whatever. But just the simple fact that they have brought it up, along with what's going to happen here very quickly, I thought it was a win-win myself. So, way to go, MSNBC. But a lot of other things are happening, man. Doggone it, you know. Putin had a plan to destroy America. And now, if you want to listen to the logic of the Democrats, or the people who are making the talking points for the Democrats, let's put it that way, they want you to believe that Putin has interfered in our election in order to affect the destruction of the United States, ultimately. And that they, being our sworn enemy, needs to be destroyed by any means necessary. So, using this logic of the Democratic talking points and apply it this way, Putin wants to destroy America. And he has succeeded, because he got Trump elected. And he has succeeded because he has created an economic boom in our country. Putin is destroying America because he's rebuilding our infrastructure. He's revitalized our military. He's used people everywhere in the world. And peace is coming to the world. The end of ISIS. North Korea. No more missiles going over Japan. No fear. Fear is fear. False entities appearing real. Or whatever. I can get you to do whatever I want to get you to do. Please understand that. All I have to do is create an issue. Problem, create a problem. Invoke emotional fear. Present a solution, no matter how asinine it is. For a human being, they want to live. And so if you scare them enough, they will, they'll give you whatever you ask them to for protection. So problem, action, fear, and the solution, you doing whatever. I can do that. Now, if I was in charge of the Democratic talking points, I would be using my skills to do what I just told you on a much grander scale. I would cause fear, division, emotional outburst, outrage, where people are just attacking each other because they're so emotionally invoked. And I really haven't done much as far as myself, other than directing these talking points. But because everybody is so zombified with media being handed to them, spoon-fed to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which I did a video a long time ago and said that, you know, the media is the enemy. You're being controlled, you're being manipulated. So 350 million Americans in the United States, right? How many freaking cell phones and everything? Everybody, pretty much. Shit. Kids, 2 and 3 years, well, not 2, but 3 and 4. I knew a 4-year-old that had not only a cell phone, but a laptop and all that. 4 years old, and actually this was a lot of years ago, so I'm sure it's a lot worse now. So everybody's being spoon-fed all this information. Everybody's looking down at their screens on their phone, scrolling through whatever. Pretty much constantly. You and I see it probably all the time when you go to, well, I don't, but when you go to a restaurant, go to a Whataburger or a Pizza Hut or wherever, just any restaurant you can go sit down in. Go in there, sit down, and watch the people. Are they talking? Are they laughing? Are they expressing to each other their day, whatever? Or are they staring at a phone? Vanity. The only person that is important is me. And to go with vanity would be the zombified stupidity of thinking that whoever's on the other side of this screen is looking out for you. That's not true. Whoever's on the other side of this screen may be presenting to you truth like we are, or maybe trying to control you by manipulating your emotions, by getting you to get pissed off so you can post shit on Facebook and Twitter and this, that, and the other and piss other people off, because, you know, if you expect other people to be better than you and you are bitching about it, you're not doing yourself any good, And you're really not doing the other people any good either, because they wouldn't have gotten pissed off if you wouldn't have gotten pissed off. Because they care about your feelings. They're emotionally, they're to some degree involved with you, to where when you post whatever negative bullshit, unsubstantiated, emotionally charged rant, with, you're going to invoke other people to get pissed off and either continue that rant by reposting your stuff, or going off on somebody else who has absolutely nothing to do with you, doesn't even know you, but because of your negative influence upon this person, now it's negatively influenced another person. See, it's all manipulation. It's all control. That's what the deep state does. They control you. They tell you what to feel, how to act, how to respond. Do not think. Do not attempt to question. Just obey. That's all you have to do. Just obey. And if you don't obey, what do you think happens? If you don't obey, what do you think is going to happen? You think you're going to get to go along your happy little life just the way it's been? Or do you think that the deep state is going to make your life living fucking hell, to try to silence you and push you out of existence? If you see anyone, Maxine Waters says, anyone from that cabinet, you create a crowd and you harass them wherever they're at. Let them know they're not welcome anywhere at any time because of who they work for. What kind of And for you, whoever you may be, who by this media created social issues, buy all this shit hook, line, and sinker, and get pissed off and continue the hate and discontent and hate and discontent and hate and discontent until somebody gets killed. The police officers in Black Lives Matter, including the ones here in Dallas. Okay. The attempted killing of the attempted killing of the majority whip at the ball field. You know, the kids in Chicago that kidnapped, attacked, and scalped a mentally handicapped individual who was white, because fuck Trump and fuck you and fuck white people. Well, gee, that's all the media has been saying. So this is why I call these people zombies. They're unable to think for themselves. They don't even want to try to think for themselves, much less think critically, because they're so used to being spoon-fed, on the tit, boob tube, whatever you want to call it. 1984. Coming from somebody who was alive in 1984 and remember it quite well. All I'm saying is, whether you believe it or not, whether you believe the earth is round or flat, or if a God in heaven exists, wherever heaven may be, or a devil exists that's going to burn you for the rest of eternity if you don't do whatever. It's all a way to control, restrain, guide, direct, point, guide, and direct people to self-moderate or self-implode, explode, whichever's needed at the time. And humanity as a whole is so much more than this. Okay? Humanity raised from all the animals on this planet. Humanity raised with logic and reason and empirical evidence and science and mathematics and humanity, although I'm part of it, and so are you, you need to understand that you alone, nor I alone, is the entirety of humanity. Humanity is every one of the 7.5 billion human beings on this planet, whether or not they're on the internet or not, have a cell phone or not, have electricity or not, or even know that you or this country exists, or anybody else, for that matter. Humanity came up from the emotional savage animals of this planet. Humanity rose up above that. And now, with this democratic talking points, humanity is being self-destructed. Just because they want division, they want chaos, they want this country to fall. And you know, this could offend you or not, I really don't care. But if America falls, the world falls. Do you hear what I'm saying? If the United States of America, a 243-year project that is still here in representing the freedoms that our forefathers established, the experiment, okay? The freedom. If we weren't all that in a bag of chips, folks, why in the fuck would people keep coming to this country? By the droves, illegal and otherwise. It's because of all the opportunity and prosperity that we have here. Opportunity and prosperity is not a guarantee that you're going to have opportunity or be prosperous. But here, at least you have the opportunity to try on your own merits, to your own merits, to your own reward. Not on everybody else's merits, to your own reward, causing stagnation, control, manipulation, and basically the bullshit that we find ourselves in now. This is not just a fight for the United States. Trump does not only represent a threat to the individuals in this country, but all over the world that are part of this evil that has infested it. That is why everyone all over the fucking world has been attacking President Trump and his supporters. So it's not about a Republican or Democrat. It's not about whether I support Trump or whether I support Clinton. Okay? It's not about whether I'm married or whether I'm engaged. And it's not about who I'm married or engaged to. What it's about is everybody being free to do for themselves the very best that they personally can do for themselves. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what America is. Everybody, love each other. Take care of each other, for Christ's sake. Stop the hate. Have peace in your heart. And never finish a negative thought. Have a super good day.